Hey kids, it's story time with Miss Hayes and Henny Penny. See you, Henny. Okay, the story that I've chose to read to you today is a humorous fiction. And humorous means, yep, funny, and fiction means made up. And it's about a boy, the main character, and he has a really big imagination. He's got a really big story to tell about what happened on the way to his school when he went to school that morning. So the title is called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to School. And the author is David Calley, and the illustrator is Benjamin Chod. And here is the main character. He's got a whopper of a story to tell you. Let's go ahead and listen and enjoy. The author's purpose for this story is to entertain. So why are you late this morning? Says his teacher. Well, it's a very long story. First, some giant ants stole my breakfast. That's not good. You got to eat a good breakfast before you get to school. So I went to borrow bread from the neighbor next door, and that wasn't exactly a good idea. Look what his neighbors are doing next door. Shooting off a cannonball in their house. Then, on my way to the bus stop, I was attacked by evil ninja warriors. After vanquishing them, a sea of scary majorettes got in the way. Majorettes are marchers, dancers. And then, out of nowhere, a massive ape appeared and mistook the school bus for a banana. Hilarious. Look at that ape thinking that his school bus is a banana. So I hopped on my skateboard and then was seized by some mysterious mole people. Those moles coming out of the drain. He's being seized by him and his trusty dog. Looks like he was on his skateboard. They seized him. They attacked him, took him. So is that why you're late? Said his teacher. No, I easily escaped the mole people. It's just that right after, I suddenly shrank. He shrank. He's flying on a fly. Look at that slug. Gonna try to get that fly. This. And look at his trusty dog up here. Look how small he is. Look how big his dog is. Well, his dog is actually normal size. And then I became gigantic. So I decided to take 3 colossal steps to school. So he went from being really, really small to really big, and he took 3 colossal steps, which means really big, gigantic steps, to school. But on the second step, I returned to my regular size and fell into a pond where I had to fight off a strange blob. So here he is. He's regular size now. He's fighting off this strange-looking blob. I wonder if it's some kind of goo. Once I got the blob off my back, an elephant grabbed me by its trunk. That elephant grabbed him, tipped him upside down. Since the elephant parade was headed in the right direction, I could still have made it to school on time. It's just that there was an unfortunate incident with a mouse. You got to look carefully at this picture. Okay, here's all the elephants in the parade, and then they see this little tiny mouse and they freak out. Isn't that funny? Big elephants are afraid of little tiny mice. Then I ran into a little girl who asked me to help her find her grandmother's house. Look at this. See if you can guess who this little girl is. Who's that little girl? Yeah, you're right. Little Red Riding Hood. And look at the big bad wolf back here in the forest watching them. So he's going to go to Little Red Riding Hood's grandma's house. Since I never had breakfast, because remember the ants ate it, we stopped for a quick bite along the way. So he's having a picnic with Little Red Riding Hood on the yard, out in the front of her house. And there's his trusty dog. So, his teacher said, is that why you were late to school? Oh, no, by then I wasn't far from school at all. But I couldn't help following a boy going in the opposite direction. He was playing a magic pipe. So this boy gets really distracted easily. So now he's following this guy going the opposite direction that school is. So now he's going away from school. So I took a shortcut, but I must have made a wrong turn because I landed in an unusually large spider web. Look at this. You think he's going to be the spider's lunch or breakfast? Look, his dog's in there too. It's all stuck. How do you think he's going to get out of this? Luckily, I had my universal gadget belt. Look at his universal gadget belt. He's cutting himself out of that spider web. Lucky for him. I was on my way again when I ran into Bigfoot, who asked me to take his picture. Look at that. Yeti asked for a picture too, so I had to take Yeti's picture too. I always thought Bigfoot and Yeti were the same thing, but maybe not. Finally, out of the woods, I found myself surrounded by a flock of sheep and a team of ducks. Look at that. Sheep and ducks everywhere. It's a mess. They're stuck in traffic. They can't get out. It made sense to help the farmers separate them. So they're trying to separate the ducks from the sheep. Then, because of my champion chess skills, the president called to see if I'd help save the planet from an alien invasion. Wow. After that, he let me fly his private plane around town. Pretty special kid. So is that why you were late for school? Oh no, I actually made it to school on time. But I forgot my backpack. So I went home to get it. Then I used my uncle's time machine to make it back to school on time, but something definitely went wrong. Look at that, he's in dinosaur land. That time machine didn't work. And that is why I was late to school. The teacher says, I see, and how am I supposed to believe your story? Funny story. Bye-bye, kids. I'm out of time. Hope you enjoyed it.